Hi and welcome to another gaming video, and today's video is going to be a very short one. Recently I bought an Anbernic RG35XXH, a little portable handheld emulation device. Here we are. Here's the device itself, and I've had it probably about 2 or 3 months now. Absolutely lovely little device, plays a lot of different games. You can either go in to a game room and pick your games from a list, or you can go on a more of a retro arch look. And it brings up a list of consoles you've got on there. Depending on which ROMs you've got will depend on which consoles come up on the home screen. And one of the main complaints that people have said is that they don't like the stock firmware, but there are plenty of other options, and I thought I would check some of them out. I was going to do a video showing off custom firmware for these devices. So you've got things like Batacera Lite. That is one of the ones that was recommended. There are a few others. I think Garlic might be available for this, and I pre-installed or preloaded some custom firmware on this device, and then I really sort of changed my mind about it. Changed my mind about making a video showing off the various different custom firmwares, because I didn't like them. I didn't think they handled and ran as well as just the stock firmware, and that's going to be a little bit controversial because I've not found anyone else that prefers the stock firmware on an Anbernic device over something like Batacera, which uses, I think, Emulation Station, and there are a few others that are, well, the interfaces of them I just didn't like. Some of them were more text based, and I thought I'd just put out a short video saying that. So, like I said, this is the stock firmware. There are two main options or ways of playing games. So you've got the games room, which brings up a list of consoles that you've got installed on it. Or you have the RetroArch style, which allows you to pick your system with this very nice little icon based menu. So you can go from PSP to Dreamcast to PS1. I like the PS1, so I'm going to pick that, and then it gives you a list of games that are on here for each system. And well, I just was a little bit, I couldn't understand why people were going on about all these other custom firmwares and how it makes these devices so much better because the stock firmware is awful. I don't think it is, and that might be controversial, but I have tried some of the others. I think I've probably been through about 3 or 4 different ones. One of them I couldn't even get to load or install, so I gave up on that one. But the one that I was interested in the most was the one that people talked about the most, was Batacera Lite. And I had it on here for about 10 minutes and went back to stock firmware. Had a look around. I think there's like Onion OS or Garlic OS, and slight variants of those for this. No, I'm keeping my Anbernic RG35XXH, which runs the same firmware as all of the other Anbernic devices, especially the RG35s. I'm keeping that as stock because I think, despite most people online saying the stock firmware is awful, I actually prefer it. I think the menu system, the layout, the functionality of it is fantastic. I've not come across anything that doesn't work. It's easy to add and remove your ROMs. I love just the simplicity of, where is it? The settings layout is just a nice, easy. Everything about stock I thought was absolutely perfect. And like I said, I've tried about 3 or 4 different custom firmwares, and I've just gone back to stock. So let me know what you think. Have you tried out different firmwares on the Anbernic devices or something like the Mayo Mini, and do you think stock is better, or have you found a firmware that's different or that you prefer? And let me know which device you're using, which firmware you're using. I mean, custom firmware. I may go and have a look at some suggestions if people can convince me enough that it's much better than stock, but I actually prefer the stock Anbernic firmware on my device. So let me know. Link, like, subscribe, enjoy.